One of the big mistakes I see, especially with chest training, and I'm going to call out the dudes, they're not doing full reps. You're not going down all the way touching your chest. Okay. You want to come all the way down, get a full stretch, and go all the way up. Now, I've had to deal with this recently because I'm rehabbing my shoulder. I've got some scar tissue in there, and my range of motion is pretty tight. And so if you've got limitations because of scar tissue or just poor joint mobility, then just make sure you're going the full depth of whatever your mobility allows you to do. Okay. But again, you want to get a full stretch. The other thing is, like with shoulders, this can be tricky because, like, if I'm standing up, right, and gravity is below me, well, I can move my shoulder more this way and get a little bit more stretch on some of these muscle groups. And so this is where, when you're training shoulders, this is why cables and machines can be very helpful, along with the angles that you put your body in to get a little bit better stretch on the shoulders. Because the shoulders are trickier to get a stretch because they're such a small muscle, and most of us are standing upright when we're doing these exercises. And I'll talk a little bit about ways you can do that. Okay, so that's tip number one, get a full stretch. Number two, when you're working your chest, when you're working your pecs, you want to go wide, okay? You want to go wide on your grip, because when you go wide, so there's two ways to stretch the pecs. Remember the anatomy chart I showed you? You've got one is coming down all the way, but two is getting wide because it stretches out that pec even more, okay? And so whether you're doing, flat presses, flies, of course, on flies, you're going really wide. So take a wider grip on chest exercises. Now you have to be careful though, because the wider you go on these exercises, the more strain it can put on the shoulder, and you have to really protect yourself from injury. And so while you get a little bit more stretch, you also have to be careful in that and listen to your body. Ways to do that is the next tip. So tip number three is, with both shoulders and chest, you really want to keep your shoulder blades retracted. What do I mean by that? So if you look at me from the side profile, hopefully you can see this. So if you look at me, I've got my shoulders back and my chest out, right? You can see those shoulder blades are retracted and locked in. So what that does is, remember when I was talking about my humerus and your AC joint? When you retract those shoulders, it locks that humerus in place. If let's just say this is your shoulder blade, if you don't lock this in, your humerus is going to come up and hit against the top of this AC joint. That can cause bursitis. It can cause impingement. Not good, right? So then you come and keep it right here. And so by locking those shoulder blades in, retracting them, it's going to keep you in a better position. And so again, if you go wide on a chest exercise, make sure you really keep those shoulder blades back, and it's going to help keep your shoulder in a good spot. Okay, so that is tip number three. Tip number four on shoulder and chest training is your tempo. Keep it slow. Keep it very slow. And again, this is kind of for every exercise or every body part, but especially for shoulders and chest. 3 to 4 seconds on the eccentric. So when you're coming down, take it nice and slow, so then that way you can, get some good muscle stimulation, some good time under tension. Take that really slow. And then when you come up, get a good squeeze and make sure you go full range of motion. Okay.